In this video, we're gonna talk about exactly how to find the perfect nutrition strategy for you and for your chronic issues, especially chronic back pain. Before we get started, do myself and yourself a favor and subscribe to this channel. We publish a lot of content on back pain, on chronic issues. You're probably not gonna find this type of content anywhere because I discovered a lot of these things purely by my own experience and struggling. I struggled with chronic back pain for more than 10 years, but the good news is I'm back pain free for 2 years entirely, and I can show you the way out. So subscribe to this channel and let's get started. As I talk in a lot of my other videos, the relationship between nutrition and chronic issues, and specifically chronic back pain, is really strong. You really want to dial in your nutrition and arrive at a level where you exactly know what to eat, what foods agree with your body, what strategies and like patterns and ways of eating are ideal and result in the least amount of back pain for you. And to achieve that, we're gonna have to think like scientists a little bit. To start, first of all, we're gonna reduce the number of variables that we're testing. This means we're probably gonna reduce the number of meals, the number of ingredients in the meals, it's usually a great idea to start reducing even the calories as well. Like if we just start from a baseline, from like a blank canvas, and we explore like simple hypotheses, we're gonna quickly start learning very valuable things. On the other hand, if we just keep like eating all of these different foods and there's no like order and we're not even like paying attention to what we're doing, it's going to be really difficult to figure out what's working and what's not working. First of all, start by taking measurements. Take measurements of both your back pain levels, ideally in the morning after you wake up and at night before you go to sleep. Maybe even one extra measurement for the maximum pain level you felt that day. Also, it's really a good idea to take back pain measurements before every meal and after every meal. This way, you're going to have a much clearer data on which foods and which meals may have a strong effect on your chronic back pain. And besides measuring back pain levels, I also recommend measuring your energy levels. This is also going to be really important because you're probably going to notice that energy and back pain have a really strong relationship. The more energetic you feel, the more like feeding and nurturing the nutrition strategy is for you, you're also going to probably discover that the lower your back pain becomes. So besides the pain levels, also measure your energy levels, ideally in the same point. So whenever you measure the back pain, also measure your energy levels. You can use a scale between 0 and 10. I think that's probably the easiest way to do this. Next, it's really a good idea to kind of start fasting a little bit. Start like reducing the feeding window so that your body doesn't spend a lot of time digesting food, and also start by kind of reducing the calories a little bit. If we eat more calories, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to find out what is working. Generally, a really good strategy for starting out is to completely cut out junk food. Just eliminate all of the garbage like processed foods, trans fats, processed sugars, like all of these unnatural foods, eliminate them from your diet and see how that reflects on your energy and your pain levels. I bet that you're gonna find that to be really beneficial. It's also a very good idea to see how you react to cutting carbs. A lot of people don't even know this, but carbs are actually hard to digest for quite a lot of people actually. And chances are like this may be you. And this was the case for me as well. I was kind of shocked to discover that when I cut carbs like significantly, I went on a keto diet for the first time, and I really noticed a clear reduction in back pain and a rise in energy levels as well. And again, try to add like a little bit of fasting here. Maybe experiment with at most 2 meals a day. Try and eat like 2 times. Maybe these can be like somewhat bigger meals. That's fine, but have them consist of less ingredients. So for example, I usually eat eggs in the morning and maybe some vegetable, but I'm even trying to I've noticed that I don't really need that. And I always aim for simplicity. So usually I have like boiled eggs in the morning and maybe sometimes some yogurt or some kefir. That's, or maybe I push that like for the next meal where I have some nuts and some yogurt and kefir. And then I have like some meat in the evening. I keep it really simple. And that's exactly how I discovered that just the perfect foods that I need to eat to reduce my chronic back pain. So I suggest you do the same. Reduce the number of meals first so that you have less things to measure, less things to worry about, and then try to reduce the ingredients in those meals. Ideally, experiment with single ingredient meals. Like I said, see how you react if you eat just like 3 or 5 boiled eggs. You can add like salt and a little bit of balsamic vinegar. I promise you, like they're gonna taste really good. But see how you feel like in terms of energy and your back pain. I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. And then have one meal where you eat just a ribeye steak, for example, or maybe just chicken. And again, like really limit the things that you add to the meal. And if you repeat this for a few meals for a few days, you're gonna have a clear kind of like proof, evidence what foods work for you and what foods don't work for you. You're probably gonna arrive to the same conclusion that I did. Eating in a more low carb, keto, natural way, where you focus more on meat, eggs, maybe a little bit of vegetables, maybe like all of these like fermented dairy products. They're really good, like kefir and yogurt, and some nuts like hazelnuts, cashews, almonds, walnuts, pistachios. Like they can also be good. Now, vegetables are actually funny. They are generally okay for most people, but some people actually have a lot of problems digesting them. You may be surprised like to find out that like just a simple, seemingly innocent like cucumber or tomato or some vegetable that people even think of as healthy, you may find that it really wreaks havoc on your digestion. You're gonna start noticing symptoms of like IBS and digestion, and usually these are really closely related to chronic back pain. It's really surprising how this works, but all of these like chronic conditions often have the same root cause. And indigestion in certain foods may be the root cause for some of you. So ideally start with one ingredient meals, see how they affect your energy. Then maybe you can experiment with adding a little bit more variety. You don't have to be like convicted on eating one ingredient meals for the rest of your life. Although I will make a separate video about this, you can actually learn to really enjoy them, to even prefer them. Right now, like I really love simple meals. If I have more than 3 ingredients in a meal, something's wrong, like something doesn't smell right to me. But to find out exactly what works for you, this is the best way. Just do one ingredient meals, really simple, like really keep it simple. I think salt is safe to add in most meals. Maybe some spices, although I would be more careful with that. And keep an eye out for vegetables, actually. You may be surprised to find out that some vegetables are actually really difficult for you to digest, which may cause an increase in back pain. And all of the measurements you take, they're gonna guide you. So let's say you just have a ribeye steak, and that's the only thing that you eat for dinner, let's just say. And you do this for 3 days in a row. And you discover that after you eat this, your back pain either maybe stays the same or maybe even drops a little bit. And also like your energy level maybe has a little dip initially, but then it kind of shoots back up after maybe like 30 minutes. This is probably what a lot of people are gonna discover if they test this. But maybe then, let's say you decide like to kind of spice things up a little bit, and maybe you add like, let's say, a broccoli. And for a lot of people, this is gonna be completely fine. Like the majority of people, and I'm taking broccoli as an example. It can be any other vegetable, let's just say. But let's say you add a little bit of broccoli, and then you start like suddenly what was a really fine, like energetic, healthy meal, now it kind of makes it really difficult for you to operate. You get lethargic. Your tummy starts to like make all of these growling sounds of you have indigestion problems, and your back hurts more. You have your culprit. You know that broccoli is not for you. And again, like I'm using broccoli as an example. It can be anything. But this is the way that you're going to arrive at a strategy that's perfect for you and also increases your energy levels, which will often coincide with reduced back pain levels. And this won't really take a lot of time. You don't really have to experiment with every single ingredient and food. You're going to kind of notice that actually the groups of foods are probably what's more important. So let's just say we have red meat, maybe we have white meat, maybe we have eggs, maybe we have like vegetables. Let's just say some are more like leafy greens, some of them are nightshades, maybe we have like a few different types of fruits, nuts. Like legumes can also be problems, wheats and like carbs especially, they can really cause a lot of problems. you're gonna quickly find out what works for you and what doesn't work. And over time, you're gonna keep tweaking, you're gonna keep experimenting. But I think in a matter of like week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, you're gonna have a really, really good idea of what works for you. And if I'm being honest, the majority of you are probably gonna arrive at the same diet that I arrived at. And if you wanna take that shortcut and just go straight to the diet that's probably gonna work for you, check out my next video on exactly what to eat for chronic back pain. I will see you there, and until next time, be brave.